What's good, everybody? Welcome to Bowler's Paradise. My name is Ben. I'm a USBC Silver Certified Coach, and today we are taking a look at the best 5 bowling balls for league bowling in 2023. Before we fire it up, scroll on down and hit that subscribe button. Bowler's Paradise is one of the few places you'll get unbiased cross-brand comparisons and arsenal builds like this one. So if you like it, be sure to catch that notification bell too while you're down there. If you bowl at all, the overwhelming likelihood is that you bowl in a traditional league. 3 games with a team of 4 or 5 on a weekday night, all contested on a house shot. For those that don't know, a house shot is a way of referring to the oil conditions laid out on the lane. USBC has rated 3 different condition difficulty levels, with house being the easiest, challenge being more difficult, and sport being the most challenging. House shots are designed to make striking easier by putting more oil in the middle of the lane and less to the outside part of the lane, with a ratio of oil typically meeting a minimum of 8.1 to 1 or higher. When building an arsenal of bowling balls though, those tend to look much different if you're bowling on sport conditions than if you're bowling on house shots. For example, urethane is a great option for sport conditions, but if you show up with a purple hammer for your Thursday league, your team might kick you off because of the terrible transition it can create.
Get out of here.
So with that, some bowling balls are more suited for house conditions, and this is my opinion of the 5 best bowling balls from all of the manufacturers for that specific setting. Leading off our list is our benchmark option, the Brunswick Teal Rhino Pro. This piece is great for house conditions because of its simplicity. This piece features the vintage light bulb core with a pretty high 2.56 RG and a lower .032 differential. It's definitely not the strongest core you can buy, but it is wrapped in the extra thick Activator 3.0 coverstock, which is an updated version of what was featured on the Brunswick Hero. I love this one from Brunswick for house shots because it combines control with continuation through pins and some pretty substantial hitting power. I've always been a huge fan of the Storm High Road line, and this Rhino Pro is very similar to that, but with a strong, solid cover stock. When starting on fresher conditions, this piece should be able to tell you where the best place to play on the lane is for that night, and be a great benchmark to know what your other balls do compared to it, to know the corresponding moves when they become necessary. It might be the most boring shape on our list, but that's for a reason. During your league, it's going to do something that's very unique, but also highly effective for those high ratio conditions. Next on our list is the Roto-Grip Clone, and this was modeled after the UFO Alert. While the Clone does a lot of what that piece did while defying the traditional logic of what a solid asymmetrical ball is supposed to do. The Clone features the cloned ET core with a mid 2.51 RG, a high 0.56 differential, and a pretty strong 0.16 intermediate diff. For the cover, Roto-Grip used the all-new Opitrax cover finish with their React-A-Gloss polish. And when I reviewed this ball, it actually blew me away with how good it looked. Normally, I would never include a piece combining this much core and cover strength on a list like this, but the results forced my hand. It looked great all over the lane, using all sorts of different tricks with my hand, and absolutely slammed through the pins. It's somehow both predictable and powerful, which is a combination that is just the best to have on house shots, and that's with me being a rev dominant bowler. This piece is sure to look even better in the hands of a balanced or speed dominant bowler, as bigger ASIMs normally do. Of course, as soon as I say I couldn't imagine having a piece as strong as the Clone on this list, I decided to put something even stronger on it. The Ebonite Emerge joins our list of the best balls for league bowling as the strongest offering, but for good reason. The Emerge features the polished HK22 Optimized Pearl cover stock paired with the Emerge core with its 2.51 RG, 0.53 differential, and really high 0.21 intermediate diff. If you ask me, this is the best piece from the brands of Brunswick to use that HK22 additive thus far, as it just accepts how responsive that material is to friction and leans into that strength. It's probably the most one-trick pony type of ball on this list, but wow, it is good at that one trick. This piece in the hands of most any league bowler will allow them to open up their angles and create more shape down lane than they ever have, with it also being effective for their score. Just because the ball hooks a lot doesn't guarantee results, but I think bowlers who are willing to move their feet and go where this thing wants to strike will be stunned by the increase in their carry percentage. Our 4th pick in the 5 best balls for league bowling in 2023 is the Motive Primal Shock. Now, I would argue that this is one of, if not the top of the list for best balls made by Motiv in the last couple of years. The Primal Shock didn't unveil any new technology, rather Motiv paired the very successful symmetrical Impulse V2 core with its high 2.55 RG and an 050 differential with the even more successful Turmoil MFS solid cover stock, which was notably featured on the Venom Shock. This combination of Motiv's most legendary technology is just an absolute house shot killer. The Primal Shock is great for house conditions, as even though it is a higher RG, it spins up pretty quick without being wild off the spot. Even though it's technically a solid, it's clean through oil, and once some transition sets in, it's a great option kit to get into a different zone and get some extra length while still being able to balance carry and limiting split potential. In short, it takes a technology from two lines that have been shown to be extremely effective on house conditions and puts them into one to make this Primal Shock one of the best options for high scores in league bowling. Rounding out our list is the Hustle M&M, and this one is for a little bit of a different reason than the rest. The Magenta Midnight iteration of this proven line of balls from Rotogrip isn't anything really new with the Hustle core and the VTC Pearl cover stock, which is actually the same on paper as pretty much every other Pearl Hustle to date. So why is it on the list? Well, because the performance per dollar is higher with this ball than any other ball available today. Coming in at only $110, the Hustle M&M is almost a must-have for a league arsenal, as it is great from all parts of the lane, pairs mid-lane roll with down-lane hook really well on high ratio conditions, and costs a little over half of what the other pieces on this list cost. If you're just looking for a new ball to toss on Thursday nights and don't want to spend a lot, look no further than the Hustle M&M from Rotogrip. And there you have it, folks, the top 5 best bowling balls for the beginning of the 2023 league season. Before you go, be sure to leave a comment of what ball you're excited to break out for league this year. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for more ball and product reviews, and remember, having the best ball for your league bowling, now that's a bowler's paradise. Peace.